Good morning and happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to the Philippines Young Author Awards Book Launch Series. So, this is already our third interview, and I am Lyra, and I'll be your host this morning. Thank you, everyone who are watching right now, and please don't forget to share this Facebook Live to your friends on your Facebook wall, or you can tag your friends, or of course, you can host a watch party. We are featuring young authors from the Philippines here in our online book launch who won last year's Philippines Young Author Awards. I know you are all excited to know who our featured young authors for today are. So let's get right into it. So the young authors we are featuring today are the finalists in last year's Philippines Young Author Awards. So let's have our first guest for today. And well, this guy is, yes, this author is actually a guy. And his name is Ryan Menchate. So he wrote the book Prodigy Named Wade. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing really good right now. A bit
That
nervous
is
of my socks, but I'm used to this, hello.
Wow, that's great. So let's have our second interviewee for today and well, another or one of our finalists last year. Let's have Celine Mercado. Hello, Celine. And she wrote the book Wrong Number. Hi, Celine. Good morning.
Hello po. Good morning po.
Okay, that's good. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling excited and nervous.
You don't have to be nervous. So let's just enjoy today's live. Anyway, let's have the third one and let's have Madison. Um, Hi, Madison. Are you here?
Yes,
Oh, there. I prefer to call you Maddie, just like what you have written in your nickname. Hello, Maddie. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
That is great. And she wrote the book The Garden, right, Maddie?
Yes.
Okay, so I know all of you who are watching right now, you are all excited to know more details about our young authors for today. So let's ask first Maddie. Maddie, can you tell us a little bit about your life as a student?
A little bit about my life as a student. Um, it was hard a bit for me. Um, I enjoy have how I my life as a student right now. But then when it was just the start of the pandemic, I had a bit of a hard time online. So when I um when I started writing, um, it helped me a lot, and it made me a lot more happier with my student life. So then it made me have an easier time since I had something to enjoy doing. So
Oh, so it was like your escape from the
yes.
stress. Okay, that's it. Now, how about you, Ryan? Can you tell us a little bit about your life as a student?
Well, I'm an upcoming grade 11 student right now. I've been a consistent first honor ever since junior high.
Oh,
Well, I agree. Well, Maddie said earlier that life as a student is hard, and I agree. Well, despite me being academically great, I have like poor time management. I'm not really consistent with setting a schedule. And yeah, generally pandemic student life online is pretty tough, but you managed to pull through, I guess.
I see. Well, congratulations. You mentioned that you're a consistent first honorable mention student. That's
Thank
great.
you.
And now let's have Celine. Now, Celine, can you tell us a bit about your life as a student?
Well, I studied in an academy since preschool, and I always joined different competitions, and like dancing and
Oh, you're a dancer.
yes, po.
I see. That's great. So thank you for sharing that. Yes.
Things got a bit harder since COVID, but that didn't really
Mhm.
stop me from studying, and instead just made me work harder. I graduated as class valedictorian on May 2022.
Congratulations.
Thank you po.
I see. Oh, so there you are. Okay, congratulations. You look really great in this photo. So this was just right? I see. Now, how about Celine, can you tell us how did you start love writing stories?
I started loving writing stories when I was only 7. I wrote this book
Oh.
called The Female Rebels. It was
Mhm.
inspired by Harry Potter and Roald Dahl, and it was basically um, my classmates having superpowers.
Nice. Also, this one. So these are the books that inspired you to write stories, right? I see. But I mean, you were so young when you started writing stories. You were just 7. That's really inspiring. How about you, Cindy? Oh, no. How about you, Maddie, rather? Maddie, can you tell us how you started loving writing stories?
I started loving, I started liking, enjoying to write stories. Not so long, just around 2 years ago, I guess. Since I always, I enjoyed reading books, and I, when I just started reading, um, I enjoyed reading books and watching movies. So then, whenever I'd see those books with interesting stories and um, actually interesting plots, so I those were types of books to like inspire me, I guess, since I didn't really
I see.
have anything specific.
So you were inspired when you learned about other people's stories, right? I see. Now let's have Ryan. Ryan, can you tell us how you started? Because I mean, I know very few male authors. So can you tell us how you started to love writing stories, Ryan?
Well, when I was young, I was a pretty imaginative guy. I would just like create stuff in my mind. I back in the day, I didn't really like just make coherent stories. I just made whatever I wanted to make on like all those old my puppet show. I don't know, just that kind of stuff where I just created random stuff. And I also vividly remember this one time when I was young, I made a story about a bird that ate a fruit from a tree and it became a dragon and had a dragon family.
Oh,
My mind was weird, but that's as much as I can remember, honestly.
you mentioned you were a kid. Like, can you still remember how old were you by then?
Oh, definitely younger than the age of 8. Probably like 5,
Oh,
6, 7, around those ages, I guess.
I see. So this was you. This was the book that you wrote, the one on the picture. Was that the
Uh,
one that you wrote?
no, no, it was like a no, no, it's like a private thing. I did just like just went out of a way to just get a story writing app and just write it somewhere in my very old iPad, basically.
Oh, so it was just a short story, but still at a very young age, you can write stories. That's
It was a
impressive. So
really
thank you
simple.
for
It was a
sharing
really simple thing, anyways. Just like not that kind of complicated, but yeah.
because it was your passion in the first place, right? It flowed naturally from you. I see. So now, Ryan, you wrote the book Prodigy Named Wade, right? So can you
Yes.
tell us what inspired you to write this story?
Well, aside from all the wizardy kinds of themes and elements you would see on like fantasy elements and tropes, I don't think I really had like some sort of inspiration for the book as far as I can remember. Didn't really like mean to base it on anything at all or was inspired by that aside from the stuff that I just mentioned. I think, yeah.
I see. So how about you, Maddie? So can you tell us how or what inspired you to write the book The Garden?
Well, I didn't really have anything in specific in mind when I was writing it. I just I think it just more came to me more on like one day also decided or thought of it, and I thought, wow, maybe this is I should just write about this.
Nice. It was like an instantaneous inspiration. I see. Well, not a lot of writers have that. You're lucky. Anyway, let's have Celine. Can you tell us, Celine, how you are, what inspired you to write the a story wrong number? Because wrong number, this is, I mean, this is a very prevalent situation. We usually have this wrong number incidents. So, can you tell us what inspired you to write this story?
Well, although I love to write fantasy and adventure stories like Harry Potter books, the COVID 19 pandemic has inspired me to write this heartwarming story about courage and hope. The many stories I've read about people who have COVID 19 and my own personal experience about my family getting COVID 19 in June 2021 has inspired me to make this story. I want my story to remind everyone that despite of the difficulties and dark times, we should always have courage and hope.
Definitely. Wow, that's very inspiring. So, Celine, how did you learn about PYAA last year?
Well, it was back in my school break, and my
Mhm.
family always encouraged me to join different activities so that I will always be active. So I decided to join a writer's workshop,
Oh.
and we searched the net, and we eventually found a unique English classroom.
Mhm.
But the age requirements were like 13 or 16, 13 to
Mhm.
16. So my mom private chatted them since I was only 11 at that time.
Oh. Mhm.
So they asked me to write a short story, and I wrote this story called The Memorial Tree, where the characters are basically my sister, my little sister, and my cousins. Fortunately, I was accepted.
Wow, I see. Well, it doesn't matter, right? So that's great. So you were accepted as a writer, as an author at a very young age, just 11 years old, you mentioned? I see. So, how about you, Ryan? Can you tell us how you learned about PYAA?
Well, sort of a similar story. My aunt was a shouter, by the way. My aunt was searching through Facebook, I think, and and that's when she found out about the PYAA, basically.
I see. How about you?
And then the rest
Let's
is
have
history.
Maddie. Yes? Okay. Thank you so much, Ryan. How about you, Maddie? How did you learn about PYAA?
I learned about it through a PY about PY from teacher Charity Dizon. I'm from and she's from the UEC Cainta branch. Um, and then I that was the time I started um, enjoying writing. So it was, I guess, great timing since I just started enjoying to write more, and then she told us about PYAA. So it was it made me really happy when I found out.
I see. So, this is your first time writing stories, right, Maddie?
Yes, yes, it is.
That's great. Even though it's your first time, you already have a published book. That's great. Congratulations. So, anyway, can you tell us about your writing process? How was your writing process when you joined POAA? Because you mentioned this is your first time. I know it's not, definitely, it's not easy to write a story. So, can you tell us a bit about your writing process, Maddie?
My writing process usually I like to go somewhere where I'm like alone, and there's not really much sound, so it's easier to like think of ideas, and then I try in my mind. I'm just trying my best to like think of different scenarios or different things that could like seem as a good story or something interesting, and everyone would like enjoy reading it. So, um, yeah,
Oh, I see. So you prefer to be in a probably a solitary place so that inspirations can keep coming into your mind. That's good. Now let's have Celine. Celine, can you tell us or how was your writing process when you joined PYAA?
My writing process was very challenging, but the PYAA has helped me how to do it, like having a story plan and space, settings, people, aims, and action, climax, and ending. I usually write by starting this rough draft, then just making my way along. It's, I wouldn't say it's very practical, but it's what helped me to write.
So you mean to say you already have the outline before you organize or formulate the whole story?
Yes, pa.
Oh, I see. So I think that's good because many writers would just write randomly. But for you, you're already organized. You already have probably the plot or the characters in mind, right?
Yes, pa.
Right. Now let's have Ryan. Ryan, can you tell us how was your writing process when you wrote your book, Prodigy Named Wade?
Well, basically, it's the same as the you have space, you have your outline, you have your plan. But well, basically, like in between those stuff, like like in between the action, the climax, the ending, like the the plot or the storyline that slowly gets to those parts, I sort of like improvise it and whatever I come up with. And if I think about something else that's better than that, then I just rewrite. And then if I feel like I can change this one part, rewrite. And if I feel like I can like describe this thing better or just integrate something else in the story, rewrite. Basically, it's a process of rewriting, thinking about it, brainstorming it, taking a break if necessary, and then rewrite. Basically, just a bunch of
Oh,
improvisation while also following on a story plan that I already have in mind.
I see. So it's like continuous improvement, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I see. Now, I'm sure you have a copy, I mean, probably a manuscript of your book. So, can you please read an excerpt from your story, Ryan? Just a short excerpt from your story. Can you please do that?
Sure, I have a physical copy here.
Oh, that's good.
In Amiantos, living was no ordinary feat. The continent always kept expanding, rippling through space and time just to isolate its inhabitants from the outside world. No matter how many miles you walk, the shimmering grass and honey-scented flowers will always look the same, as if you haven't left the area at all, like a labyrinth. The deeper you go, the more likely you become lost. Even if you had a compass, a map, or a trail, the continent will always find a way. No ordinary person would find a way out in Amiantos. Of wizards had a chance, but even they would struggle. Wade and his parents hurried across the lush meadows in a slow, wobbly pace, sweat dripping from their faces. His mother kept wiping Wade's face with a magenta towel, although she too was sweating. His father held out a small azure orb made of sparks of light on his right palm, carefully observing it, while he gripped the stone wand twirled by brown vines on his left arm. That's all.
Oh, that was great, Ryan. Thank you for sharing that. Is that your favorite part of the story?
No, actually, it's wait, how many chapters is that away? It's two chapters away after that. When the two chapters away when the protagonist Wade goes to his school for the first time and meets his and I quote friends. A bit of spoiler for the plot, but yeah.
I see. Well, thank you so much for that, Ryan. Now let's have Celine. Celine, can you read us an excerpt from your story?
I was considered a faithful person. I always thought that we should never give up, no matter what life threw at us. So imagine my surprise when I answered an unknown call from someone who had lost all faith in life. Hello? Is this the suicide hotline? Faith is such a small word for a big thing. Oh, no, it's not. Ah, I see. This must be a sign that I should have not called. Goodbye. Feeling my heart drop, I answered, Wait! Please stay! All right. Please don't kill yourself. I pleaded, even if I knew there was a small chance that that person will listen.
Wow. I mean, because nowadays a lot of people are feeling depressed, right? Especially you mentioned your family was hit by COVID 19 the previous years. So I think a lot of people can relate to that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Is that your favorite part?
Yes, but since that is the part where the protagonist meets the friend that helps uplift them to be more positive and see
Oh,
the
that's.
light along the dark times.
Thank you so much for that, Celine. Now let's have Maddie. Maddie, can you please read us an excerpt from your story?
Okay. I'm sorry. The only thing I could see not so far from where I stood, there was a small sign with a lantern beside it, so I went near it. As I got closer and closer, I had more ideas of what could be on the wooden plank. And finally, I was right in front of it. The garden was all it said. I looked around the sign and saw nothing. Was it nothing? Did I go all the way here for no reason? That's
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much, Maddie. So, what inspired you to write that part? I mean, what message do you want to convey in that part?
um I'm sometimes I guess I wanted it to be more of kind of that part to be a bit more mysterious. And since I like um, reading things that are surprising and you wouldn't um, I guess mysterious as you can say. Um, I guess I just wanted it for that part to seem a bit different from the actual story.
I see. So again, it was an instantaneous inspiration. Okay. Now, Maddie, since this is your first time writing stories, can you share us what's the most challenging part about writing the story?
The most challenging part about writing the story is for me, I think it's um having enough I um I think it is more of being able to write enough surprising things because you even though you can think of lots of things all at once, sometimes you won't be able to remember it later on. And then like you won't know how to like sometimes make it part of the story or be able to connect it somehow with everything that goes on in the story. So sometimes it's hard connecting all of your ideas, even though you think some of them are good, you won't be able to make it seem like it just made sense in writing it.
I understand. Sometimes it's challenging to make the flow smooth, right? Because I think authors or writers really have a lot of ideas going in and out of their minds. So it's difficult to screen which ideas is appropriate to include in the story. So I can relate. Well, not really that I can relate because I don't have a published book anyway, but I've been a writer once as well. So now let's have Celine. Now, Celine, can you share as the most challenging or difficult part of writing your book?
The most challenging and difficult part was writing the hospital setting, since I had to research about it so that the readers wouldn't feel misguided and it would
Right.
feel realistic. And also since I was always more used to making it up, since I was always leaning more into fantasy stories. So making it realistic and researching about it was very challenging for me.
I see. So how long did you had to research about it?
A few hours, I had to look into the Wikipedia, look at people's experiences.
I see. Well, thank you for that. That's true because writers they have to, of course, be reliable. Even though we are writing like fictional books, we are writing subjectively. Of course, the readers also has to have somehow a little bit of reality or a big crunch of reality. Now let's have Ryan. Ryan, can you share us your most challenging part of writing the story?
In my opinion, it was sort of like the execution. Like, yeah, you have all these ideas, right? And you implement them. Had to put some out of the way, I guess. But then then the question comes to mind, like, are you executing this idea right? Like, is
Right.
this stuff accurate to how someone would react to this? Is this accurate to what happens in this stuff like that? I was kind of nervous about writing some parts or shy about writing some parts because I didn't know if I was like writing accurate or like stuff that people would like, for example, real human emotions and how people would feel at a given time, or how people would
Or
react to stuff like that, stuff like that. I eventually managed to pull through, but in my opinion, I probably would if I like now that the book is published, I feel like I could have executed more stuff like better in such a sense. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the execution in general went around pretty all right, I guess. Yeah.
oh, that's great. It's all about the accuracy and consistency as well, and
Yeah,
homogeneity.
exactly.
So you mentioned that since you had the published book, so you were inspired to improve your story. Well, I'm looking forward to you having that kind of improvement probably on your next book, right? So you can write another book. You can improve more on your next masterpiece. Okay. So anyway, Ryan, you mentioned that you already have the published copies. So can you show it? Okay, there it is. So everyone who are watching right now, you can actually have a copy of Ryan's book. Ryan, can you please tell the audience how they can avail your copy or how they would contact you in case they want to buy your book?
Just contact my mom on Facebook or Fiverr. That's it, really.
Okay. So everyone who are watching
Or
right now,
website
you
that's
can
on the screen,
screenshot
anyways.
this. Yes. You can screenshot this one. You can save the number and then you can just send a message to them and you can have Ryan's book. Now let's have Celine. So Celine, you also have the printed copy of your book. Yes, can you show it? Okay, there you are. Well, congratulations on having your books printed. And can you tell us how the audience or those aspirant buyers can buy your book?
I felt very happy and fulfilled since I finally did it. I made my book. Um,
Congratulations.
they can private chat my mom on Facebook or call her to get my book.
Mhm. Okay. So everyone watching right now, don't hesitate to screenshot this one. You can copy the number, you can message them on Facebook, and then you can have the copy of Celine's book. Now, actually, for Maddie, this is actually a surprise for her because she didn't know that her book got printed. So, how do you feel about that, Maddie?
I was excited and kind of um yeah, I was really surprised when I found out just now. So
Yes.
it's a big surprise.
Okay. So this is actually, yes, indeed a surprise for you because
Yes.
just today it was announced that your book definitely got printed. So what can you say to your future readers, how can they contact you if they want to avail the copy of the book?
They can message my mom on Facebook or Viber. So yeah.
All right. So you can just message Maddie if you want to have your Maddie's mother, rather, not you, your mother, right? So you can just message Maddie's mother or probably brother or sister. Just kidding. So anyway, you can just contact Maddie if you want to have the book, The Garden. Now, do we have any questions here from the audience? Let's visit just for a moment. Let's have a visit of the comments. Oh, we have here a shout out. We love you, Ryan. Oh, you have a lot of lovers, Ryan. From I'm sorry, Lorime. Sorry if I didn't pronounce it correctly. And then we have proud of you, Maddie, the unique English classroom. Congratulations. And go for Celine from Bon Cuisine. So can you say hi to your viewers right now, everybody? Can you say hi? Hello. Thank you so much for watching our Facebook Live for today. So
Hello
everyone,
there.
don't hesitate to buy or purchase their books. I know you will really be inspired because it's not, I mean, we can have a lot of authors, but they're older, 20 years old and above. But these people, I mean, these kids right here on your screen, they're just what, 13, 12 years old, probably. Oh, there, Arnie J. Guyao. Wrong number, a must read book. So don't hesitate to read it. And I know all of their books are a must read, so you really have to buy it. And okay, here for Ryan Menchate. Yes, go Celine. Okay, so you have a lot of televiewers right now. So anyway, now in every author, there is what we call a writer's block. Now let's have first Ryan. Ryan, how do you avoid a writer's block? Or do you experience it?
Well, whenever I do have a writer's block, I just like it's best to like just settle down, step away, and just take a break for a moment, like a general break, a snack break, or just a moment for you to think, a moment of clarity, where you can just think and calm your mind, to kind of, even after all, there is a saying, I guess, that sometimes the greatest ideas come when you least expect it. So I think that kind of applies to what I'm saying here. Like, your greatest, who knows, maybe stories, ideas for your story might come when you're just taking a break without realizing it, basically.
Oh, that's great. It's okay to pause as long as we don't quit, right? Okay,
Yeah,
now let's
yeah.
have. Thank you for that, Ryan. Now let's have Celine. Celine, how do you avoid a writer's block?
Well, I avoid writer's block by reading other people's stories and rereading my own story. But it's actually best to
Oh,
just rest, just like what Ryan said, since you can't really force ideas to come out. And if you did force ideas, then it probably wouldn't be that good.
definitely, that is right. So, as writers, you also need to have a clear mind to write beautiful plots and stories. Now, let's have Maddie. Maddie, can you share us how you avoid, or if not avoid, how do you deal with a writer's block?
When I have writer's block, yeah, kind of like what Ryan said, I also want to take a break. But then I also try to like, um, I guess look or search online kind of like just for inspiration or maybe just like at least the smallest idea that could um, go into my mind. So yeah.
I see. Wow, so you get inspiration from other stories or probably watching movies so that you can be inspired again. So thank you so much for that. And everyone who are watching right now, if you have questions, if you want to know more about our young authors for today, you can definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Don't hesitate that. And we are now at the end of our book launch, so we would like to invite you all who are watching right now to join us in the Philippines Young Author Awards 2022 on July 12 to 15. It is only a 4-day workshop, but we can guarantee that you can learn a lot from this 4-day workshop. If you are 13 to 16 years old and you have a story in mind that you'd love to have published, or if you're a parent or a guardian of a teen or a preteen who loves to write, let them join this year's PYAA and give them a chance to represent Philippines as a young author. You can screenshot this slide or you can scan this QR code. So don't hesitate, everyone. You can screenshot this, and we are looking forward to having those young kids, not really kids, but those teenagers to have their stories published, to express their emotions, to and of course to showcase their talents in this year's PYAA. Now, to end our interview for today, so let's ask Maddie. Maddie, do you have any tips for our young authors who will join, or any inspiring words for future young authors?
Um, I'd say to not be scared of writing anything that you think of first, because it's fine to have to write your ideas and have like a draft of what you're thinking of. So don't be scared on what you're thinking. So write what you can, and later on you can just try to like um see how the ways you can improve it. And then yeah, don't be scared to also try to search up on how on ideas, or just yeah, inspiration also. So yep, that's
I see. Thank you so much for that, Maddie. Now let's have Ryan. Ryan, can you share any tips for our young authors who are willing to join or who will join this year's POAA, or any inspiring words for our future young authors?
Yeah, I agree with Matthew. It's best that even now that you if you have like some good ideas or like anything that is of interest that will make a good story, then write it down. Like put it somewhere where it's safe, where you can access it. It's okay if it doesn't come out as good as first, or if it comes out as like not that great. It's okay. You can over time you can like improve it, rewrite it, stuff like that. Just make sure to keep your ideas in a place where you can easily access them. And as of joining the PYAA, don't rush it. Like, don't immediately just aim for winning at first. It's good to aim for that, but like, be in the moment. Like, enjoy the 3 days. I think, yeah, 3 days of the workshop. They're really helpful and fun as well. I can personally vouch for that. And yeah, just make sure to enjoy it. Don't stress yourself out.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that, Ryan. It's like a quotation that goes this way: it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey. So that's what Ryan is trying to say. So just enjoy PYAA this year and don't think about winning yet. For now. Now let's have,
Who
yeah.
knows? Who knows? Eventually, you may be able to win. Through that journey of having fun. I probably
Definitely.
should wear that better, but I guess you get my point.
Thank you so much for that, Ryan. Now let's have Celine. Celine, can you give any tips or any inspiring words?
Well, just like they said, winning the competition is just a bonus, and the moment I finished my story, it already was an achievement. Just write what you love to write and have a wide imagination, combining what you read and what you experienced. You wouldn't be instantaneously very good at writing, so just like Ryan said, just keep on practicing and you'll improve. Just continue dreaming and put those dreams into reality by reading more and writing more. Always believe in yourself and pray until something happens.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Celine. Actually, guys, I'm really inspired by you. I mean, somehow I envy you because you have your books published. I also wrote stories, but they're just on Wattpad. I haven't got them published. But anyway, thank you so much for sharing your information. Thank you so much for sharing those inspiring words to our young authors. Not only young authors, I think we adult aspirant authors can also learn from you, because young as you are, you can already write stories, you can write books. So that's really great. Thank you so much for today. And to all of you who are watching right now, please don't forget to allow your teenagers to join this year's PYAA. So that ends our broadcast for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Once again, you can screenshot this, you can scan the barcode, and we will see you again later on in our probably last live broadcast. Thank you so much, everyone who are watching right now, and I hope you had a great day. Have a great day, everyone. Happy Sunday. See you next time. Bye.